Okay, here we are for Tinkercad. We're going to be doing lesson C, precise movement of objects using SnapGrid. Okay, and we'll be using our arrow keys. And if you're curious about what the arrow keys look like, these are the arrow keys. So we're using those today. Okay, so here we go. Let's put an object here. And there we go. Now, I'm going to zoom really on this grid. You see on this grid, these little, this right here from here to right here, that's 1 millimeter. And that makes 2 millimeters, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from this end all the way to this end, that's 10 millimeters. Now, what's a single millimeter? That's like the about the thickness of your pencil when you break it and it's broken. That's about 1 millimeter. What is 10 millimeters? For me, 10 millimeters is about my pinky right here. It's about 10 millimeters. Your 10 millimeters might be your ring finger, might be right there, but my 10 millimeters across is my little finger. So, give you guys a little idea of what 10 millimeters looks like. And these grids give you a total of 10 millimeters. Now, I'm going to move my object right here. The left side is right at the grid right there. And I want to start moving it over by using my right arrow key, and I want you to watch it move. Every time I press my right arrow key, it's moving 1 millimeter. The reason why it's moving 1 millimeter is because of my snap grid. And let me show you my snap grid. I think I'm in front of the snap grid. Let me move over. My snap grid right here is set at 1 millimeter. Now let's change the snap grid to 2 millimeters. And now I'm going to use my right arrow button. Let's watch the object. And see, every time I move, it goes 2 millimeters. See, let's do that again. Arrow key, 2 millimeters. Arrow key, zoom in a little bit so you can see that real good. So that's moving 2 millimeters. Let's change this snap grid to 5 millimeters. And now let's use the arrow key. See it? You move 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. And this is kind of fun because now you are controlling the precise movement according to the snap grid. Now, sometimes you need smaller increments than a 5. Let's go back to 1 millimeter. So I'm setting it to 1 millimeter. And so every time I hit my right arrow key, it's moving 1 millimeter. Let's go even smaller. Let's go to a zero point 0.5 millimeters, zero point 0.5. Now, take a look. It takes me 2 clicks to make one. So you have to click one time and no time. So it's moving like a half of step over. See how it's moving like a half a step? And I can get even smaller. We can go down to 0.25, which now it takes me four, 1, 2, 3, 4 to go a full millimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4 to go a full millimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what 0.25 does. Now, the last one is the zero point 0.1. This is going to take me 10 times to get across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I'm finally 1 millimeter over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Finally 1 millimeter over. So that is one way to move. Okay, I'm going to put it back at 1 millimeter. And I wanted you to notice the last thing is that the focus. Notice when I look at my object, when I zoom into my object, it zooms right in the middle. So if my object is not in the middle, let's say way over here, and I want to zoom in, I can't see that object. Well, the way to fix your zooming, right now it's zooming in the middle here, is to click your object and then hit the letter F key on your keyboard. And now when it zooms in, it will zoom in on the object and not. But if I move that object over here, it's still going to zoom in on that spot. See? Still trying to zoom in on that spot. And I want to change it to zooming into the object. So I click the object, I hit the letter F, and now it zooms in on the object. So if you want to change where your zoom is, you can use the letter F after you click your object and it'll zoom in that spot for you. And that's it.